week, and we're happy to be joined once again by Congressman Tim Griffin, Republican from the 2nd Congressional District in the great state of Arkansas. Hello, Congressman.
Thank you for having me. Hello. It's great to be here. My favorite show.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I love having you on. And, of course, member of the House Committee on Ways and Means, also 17-year U.S. Army reservist, lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army. So God bless you for that. But let me start with, of course, you're running a clock, an update. Every day you're putting out a press release. And God bless you for that, because you're one Republican who knows how to get the message out. When the president first said, hey, if you have any ideas on how to improve the Affordable Care Act, come on, I'll meet with you. And he said it since, by the way, many times. And you took him up on his offer. You and 33 House Republicans said, okay, we want to meet with you. And you're still waiting for that meeting, aren't you?
It's been about 55 days. I hope you're not holding your breath. And, not only has the president repeated that invitation, if you will, he repeated it during the State of the Union. And what did we write? We wrote a letter that said, hey, we're not going to burden you with 2,000 pages to read through. We're just going to lay out some general principles, many of which, to be fair, many of which can be implemented regardless of the whole Obamacare disaster. For example, expand the use of health savings accounts. Let's have competition across state lines for insurance companies, et cetera, et cetera. We laid them out right there, and all we want to do is accept his offer to have a conversation. I understand that as long as the president in the White House last name is Obama, that he's not going to sign a repeal of Obamacare. I'm for repeal. I voted for repeal. But these ideas are ideas that we need to discuss regardless, that can give people more choice, that can lower costs, that will improve quality of care. And all we're doing is saying, you invited us, we're accepting. And so what I've been doing is we've been talking about, is just sort of putting out a release every day, going, it's 30 days, it's 40 days, it's 41 days. And, I think what this shows is it's all talk. It's all talk.
Yeah, he has no interest in doing it. No.
But, look, I would love to find out whether we could find some common ground on some of the issues that I and 33 others wrote him about. So we're still waiting, and I'm going to put out a press release every day until I'm done with my term or we get an acceptance.
Well, I think that is great, and it does show that he has absolutely no interest in getting anything done. He has no relationship with anybody in Congress, and he's not going to start now. Let's move on, and let's talk a little bit about, before we get to the IRS, let's talk about the immigration. The fact of the matter is that yesterday John Boehner said it's not happening. We don't trust the president. Because he's not enforcing the laws now, and he's changed the Obamacare law whenever he feels like it. So how can we have any confidence that if we pass something, and that he'll enforce that?
Well, look, you make a good point. This is a broad point that applies not only, as you indicated, to the issue of immigration, but also to work requirements. Remember, in the welfare law, he made a unilateral change there through HHS after the HHS attorney had said previously that we don't have the authority to make that unilateral change, right? And then numerous changes have been made with regard to Obamacare, unilateral administrative changes, that many of which I believe only the Congress can make. He made those. So what you have is you have a backdrop here that we're operating against. And that backdrop is one where the president enforces the laws that he likes, and he ignores the ones he doesn't. And that's the issue here. That there's a trust deficit. Yeah, we've got a budget deficit. We've also got a trust deficit. And it's because the president basically treats the Congress as a constitutional speed bump. It's just something he has to go over as fast as he can, and and it's sort of annoying to him, I think, and a distraction, and he's just not real into it. That's unfortunate, because what that does when you breed distrust,
right,
you kill our ability to address a lot of these issues. Look, I'm one who believes that there are lots of parts of the immigration laws that need to be fixed. We need the bureaucracy more streamlined, for example, for skilled immigrants that have PhDs and masters in STEM fields, for nanotechnology or whatever. There are a lot of these people that we have a shortage of, and we need them here to research and innovate. And the system often keeps jobs open because we can't get the only person we found from overseas to fill the slot.
Right.
How do I know that? Because I talk to businesses that want to grow, and they go, look, we have plenty of bachelors in STEM fields in the United States, but at the master's and PhD level, we have a shortage. We know this. This is known.
No, right, but when
we can't fix that.
Yeah.
We can't fix the border.
Right, and even if you
need to do at the border.
Right, and the whole point, Congressman, is, of course, if you do vote to fix the border and the president signs it, doesn't mean he's going to act on it. You know, so you can't. We never had a situation like that where you had a president that you figured once he signs a bill, he's going to just decide what parts of the law he's going to enforce and the other parts he's not. I do want to touch quickly on actually something that Medicare Sustainable Growth Rate, SGR,
right.
Something that your committee is taking up. Is actually Ranking Member Harry Waxman introduced a bipartisan bill that would replace the broken Medicare Sustainable Growth Rate. Is there any way to get any of this fixed? Any way?
Yes. I think SGR is one we've made a lot of progress on, and I think there's a good chance of getting that done. The problem with SGR, it was legislation intended to get growth of spending and doctors' expenses under control,
right?
And it just hasn't worked. It hasn't worked, and it has to be re-upped and re-upped and re-upped. So there's no predictability or certainty to whether it's going to be approved each time. We need to get rid of that, reform this in a way that it has a reasonable path forward but also saves money. And, yes, we have a solution to that, and that completely gets rid of this SGR. And so I am confident I'm confident that is something we can move forward.
We will continue next time with an update on the non-meeting and with the IRS where it stands and with the latest on Obamacare. Thank you, Congressman.
Happy Friday.
Yes, it is. It is a happy Friday. Thank you. Congressman Tim Griffin, Republican, Arkansas.